Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, we got the finale to the series. We're ranking all the shooting badges and tiers in NBA 2K21, starting from F going to S, so I hope y'all enjoy. If you're new to the channel, we've done the finishing, the defense, and the playmaking all before this, so if you want to check that out, feel free to. And other than that, we're going to get straight into this. And real quick, if we could try this video 1,000 likes in the first 24 hours, I'd really appreciate that. But anyway, starting off the F tier, we got Ice and Veins and Pump Fake Maestro. Usually in these tier lists that I do, the F tier badges are going to be the ones that are completely useless. Like I'm talking close to zero relevance for running these at all. And Pump Fake Maestro obviously is 100% useless. Ice and Veins is literally useless outside of Team Pro-Am, and even on Team Pro-Am, not going to be worth your badge points. The only reason I'd ever see you running this badge is if you're a true inside big man with one shooting badge, and you just want a little bit of help on your free throw in late game situations. That's what this badge does, in case anybody doesn't know. But anyway, like I said, free throws literally pertains 0% to 3v3 and 2v2 and just park stage situations, stuff like that. So speaking of a badge that's going to help you if you're a true inside big man, we got Slippery Off Ball coming in the E tier, and then we have Steady Shooter as well. So the reason I say Slippery Off Ball is mostly going to be applicable to the true inside bigs out there, and why I don't think you should run this if you're a shooting build is because A, there's way better shooting badges out there that you can run that are going to be in the B tier, C tier, A, S, all types of stuff like that. And the only reason I'd ever see you using Slippery Off Ball is if you're a pure sharp. And even at that, off-ball movement is ridiculous in this game, and off-ball defense sucks. So you don't need Slippery Off-Ball to get open. In the first place, I'm pretty positive this badge is literally only good for using the right stick to actually get open and like juke dudes out. And I would only see this being used around off-ball screens where the point guard is just isoing, and then you're off-ball with your pure sharp, running around using your right stick to like juke around screens. I just could never see this being useful, all right? But I do understand for all the inside bigs out there, you think this is going to help you on your rolls and slips. I thought of that at 1.2, but honestly, I don't even think that helps that in the first place, but it's a nice little myth to believe in. So then as far as Steady Shooter goes, the reason I have this low on the list, I understand the power of this badge. You can hit contested shots with it. However, we all know, at least some of us probably know, that it decreases your open shooting. And then on top of that too, here's the thing, dribbling and getting open with the PLAYSHARP is super easy in this game, right? And then also the shot contesting is awful. So why have a badge that's going to help you make contested shots when getting open and getting low percents on your jump shots in the first place is already super easy to do? So that's why I have Steady Shooter coming in really low on this list. Last year I had it around the B tier because of the power of this badge. And again, I understand the power of the badge has not been decreased too much in general, but the ease of getting a wide open shot and actually hitting your shots is going to be way easier than last year in this game. So in the D tier, this might have a couple underrated badges in some people's eyes. This is my list. If you disagree with it, feel free to drop your comments and give me some feedback as far as my list goes. But anyway, as far as pick and popper goes, the reason I have this a little bit lower on the list, pick and pop bigs have become a little bit less relevant in 2K21. You guys know it's been mostly inside bigs throughout the whole course of this game. And even at that, pick and popper, I feel the same way with pick and roller as I do pick and popper. If you could just like not hit the dude with the screen and just kind of flare out on the pick, or do a pick and pop slip as I would call it, this would be a great badge. You get a shooting boost from just faking the screen and popping out pretty much, and you could catch your opponent off guard. But the fact that you have to hit your opponent with the screen for this badge to light up and actually be useful, that's the thing that weighs this down a little bit in my eyes. And then on top of that, like I said, just the fact that outside bigs are a little bit less relevant in this game in the first place. So then we have deep fades coming in the D tier as well. Honestly, the true reason I have this lower on the list is just the fact that for all the post scorers out there, the post hooks rule. It's about as simple as that. Why do anything but a post hook? Now, for the pure stretches out there who are trying to be a reliable shooting build as well as have a little bit of post game to them, I can understand why you run this badge. I might be putting this a little bit too low for that reason, but that's literally the only build it applies to. So it's kind of a subtraction by need, I guess, for, you know, the whole community out there. There's a very small percentage of people that will actually be using deep fades, so that's why I have it lower on the list. But for all you pure stretches out there, I do understand this is going to be a great badge for you to run, and when you have 30 shooting badges, why not run this in the first place? In the C tier, we got a couple solid badges. We got Deadeye, Flexible Release, and Hot Start. Now, the thing I want to explain as far as why Flexible Release is higher on this list in comparison to what some of you guys probably think is the whole stage community. And just, I don't know if this is park people as well, but as far as the guys that I've played with, the people I've played against, I've seen a lot of people using Flexible Release, and apparently we all know it helps you on your lates and earlies, right? But on top of that, the rumor and the thought process behind the stage guys is that this helps you hit your slightly earlies and slightly lates as well. And then on top of that, running Flexible Release as a post score or just doing shot aiming in general is going to help you, because then you don't have to actually time the shot. And we all know you don't actually have to time the shot anyway when it comes to the aiming. It's all about how you aim the shot. But my theory is that if you have Flexible Release on, then it still gives you a boost even if you miss time the shot. Alright, and honestly, I don't know who followed all that. I know it's a little bit complicated, but for those who get it, you guys understand what I'm saying. Anyway, moving along to Hot Start. this badge is still going to be good. I feel like this varies based on your skill. So if you're somebody who's going to be able to go 6 for 6 or 7 for 7 in the whole course of a game, this badge is great for you. But if you're somebody who's kind of, you know, a weak shooter on the whole like skill gap side of things, and you're worried you're going to miss one shot out of like the first 2 or 3 that you take, I wouldn't recommend running this badge. If you're somebody who doesn't exactly shoot the ball very many times in the game, like if you sometimes get up 1 shot in a game, but then other times get up like 5 shots in a game, honestly, probably not the badge for you either. This really is mostly for the point guards out there, in all honesty. Same with, you know, volume shooter that we're going to have in the B tier as well. But anyway, hot start, great badge for all the PLAYSHARPs out there. Aside from that though, wouldn't really run it. So for the B tier, we got clutch, volume, and tireless shooter, and then we got difficult shots as well. So to start with clutch shooter, this is gonna be the only badge that in the description has a large shooting boost when applicable, and this is actually a lot easier to light up than I had imagined in 2K20. So I'll explain this, and honestly, it's probably been like this all the way back to 2K20, I just didn't know this. So my boy AK, comp point guard out here, just, you know, he knows his stuff with the shooting badges. So what he's told me is that this badge works as soon as your opponent hits 12 points. No matter if you're winning, losing, anything like that, you could have 20 points, they have 12, it's still gonna work. So like I said, huge shooting boost when the badge is applied, but I feel like the one thing that weighs this badge down a little bit as far as being in the A tier is the fact that this is really only a good 3v3 badge. For Pro-Am, not going to be very effective. You got to wait all game just for the badge to maybe even be useful. Otherwise, you just wasted 4 shooting badge points, or 3 depending on what your, you know, archetype is. But anyway, this is not a very good 2v2 badge either, just the situation of possession. So you might just go 22-0 on your opponent, and just like that, you just went a whole game without clutch shooter even helping you at all. Either way, I mean, you won the game if you went 22-0, so I guess it doesn't even matter that much. But anyway, moving along, we got volume shooter also coming in the B tier. This is going to be a great badge for all the point guards out there. However, I will say this baits you into taking shots that I feel like you shouldn't take. So my experience with this badge in the first place with my point guards, and I run big man, honestly, I feel like a lot of times they don't take the 2s that they should, because the cooldown on this badge lasts 1 minute. So in game time, if you go 1 minute without shooting, the badge goes all the way back down to 0, and you got to keep on building up your volume shooter from the ground up from there. So whoever needed to hear that as far as how you defend a point guard or anything like that, sometimes I feel like my point guards just be fiending for shooting the 3s a little bit too much, or just in general getting their shots up. Now, you can kind of cake that a little bit by just, you know, getting ready to get the offensive rebounds and just letting them get their shots up and keeping the badge running. But like I said, I feel like it baits them into taking bad shots they shouldn't take in the first place. And I would not recommend using this at all on a rim sharp or, you know, a spot up or anything like that in the corner. There's no guarantee you're getting your shots, and I feel like it's just a wasted badge point at that. So then we have difficult shots. Now the reason this badge is a little bit lower in this B tier, as some people might expect this to be in the A or even the S, I guess, is because this badge is only going to be relevant on 2v2. I don't even think this is too effective on 3v3 in the first place. Definitely not Pro-Am. And on top of that, according to my boy Kitchen, this badge doesn't even light up when you do fadeaway 3s. It has to be like step back 3s or on some Ticino stuff, right? But again, just want to clarify, the only reason I have this badge a little bit lower on the list is that I feel like it's only relative to the 2v2. We all know what it does. Obviously going to help your off dribble mids and stuff like that. You know, if you're on some Ticino stuff with the step back jumpers and stuff like that too, obviously it's going to be relevant. But for the general public, it's really not going to be very useful at all for 3v3, and then very relevant for 2v2, so that's why we have it in the B tier. So in the A tier, we have catch and shoot, corner specialist, and green machine. So obviously the catch and shoot and corner specialists are going to be big time for the spot ups out there. These are going to be the 2 most important badges for you, aside from hot zone hunter, which obviously is going to be in the A tier. And at the same time, low-key sleeper badges outside of just the realm that you would think that they help. So for all the PLAYSHARPs out there, honestly, even running this on bronze is pretty solid. And then for the PLAYSHARPs out there as well, the corner specialist still works for the corner fades, baseline fades, all types of stuff like that. It's got to be a little bit deeper though. It's not the, you know, the close baseline cheese that most of y'all probably do. But anyway, deeper mid-range fades and 3-point fades in the corner, this badge lights up for, and same goes for the catch and shoot. I mean, you could be a play sharp, a two-way sharp, whatever you want to be, and even especially the rim sharps, catch and shoot is super important on. We all know that. So overall, great badges. They just are kind of boringly good, I guess, if you guys will. So then we have green machine. This badge applies to almost anybody who shoots the ball. However, it's going to be mostly relevant for the play sharps out there who have a higher rating and are going to be greening at a higher rate. Obviously, you guys know the deal. This is going to be a pretty good badge. There's not much to say about this one other than the fact that it just keeps the greens rolling. I mean, it's about as simple as that. The only thing that is a little bit tough about this is once you do shoot the white, obviously you have to start all the way from the beginning as far as building this up. It takes 2 shots for it to even start working in the first place. So it is what it is. Green machine, still a great badge, but you could say that this is a little bit overrated on my list if you want to. So then for the S tier, we got Range Extender, Hot Zone Hunter. Gotta be the 2 best shooting badges in the game, period. You could even make the case that they're 2 of the 3 best badges in the game. I would say the only thing that's better than Range Extender or Hot Zone Hunter would probably be Quick First Step, but that's just for the PLAYSHARPs out there. Honestly, these badges apply to anybody who shoots the ball, and Hot Zone Hunter bails a lot of people out, to be completely honest with y'all. Helps them hit the whites, greens at a way higher rate. Just in general, is going to spike your 3-point percentage way up. And obviously, the one downside to this badge is you got to have the hot zones for this to apply. But honestly, in this game, not very hard to do in the first place. You can just play like 50 My Career games, never lose your hot zones at all, ever again. And then for Range Extender, obviously, we all know the power of this badge, whether it be for off-ball shooters or anything like that, or clearly for the PLAYSHARPs out there around screens, ISO, whatever it may be. Range Extender on Hall of Fame just goes crazy. And really, one thing I want to remind everybody of is to go back into the past, right? So we had Range Extender in 2K20 as well. Playlocks out here were able to run this thing on gold, which is already ridiculous, and they were hitting at a crazy rate from that range as well. And then if you want to talk about some stupid stuff, all right? In 2K19, when it was called Limitless Range, pure stretch bigs were only allowed to have this badge on gold. And then, like I was just saying, in 20, Playlocks had this thing on gold. Everybody had this thing on gold. Pure slashers could have this thing on gold. Pure locks could have this thing on gold. We all know. Honestly, I just think that's ridiculous. And if you go back to 2K18 and 19 as well, PLAYSHARPs literally only had Range Extender on silver. That's just ridiculous to me. And the more you really think about that, it really allows you to understand the power of this badge, because if those same builds had Hall of Fame Range Extender, even with their 81 3-pointer or something like that back in the day, they would have been going crazy. But that was the one thing that weighed them down, and now that the last 2 years have allowed you with Hall of Fame Range Extender on any build that has, you know, like sharpshooting in it, you just manipulate the defense so much. There's so much attention that has to go to you in the super high pick and roll. You can be super far away. I mean, greens from half court. We all know the power of this badge. There's really no more debating it. Probably the best badge in the game, in all honesty. Anyway, that's all for the video. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. Like I said in the intro, let's try this 1 to 1K likes in the first 24 hours. And if you made it to the end of the video, put green in the comments to show your support it's made all the way through. And like we say with all these tier list videos, if you have any suggestions or comments, feedback on what I got wrong, what I got right, if you agree with this, if you disagree with this, feel free to drop it in the comments as well. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed, and take it easy, man. Peace.